How's everybody doing?
Hello.
Hi, Cody.
What's up, guys?
Good to see you, brother.
Yeah. Good to see
How
you
you doing?
guys.
How's
Can you
life?
hear me okay?
Yeah, we see you great.
Awesome. Yeah, this is my first Zoom.
Right on, man. Welcome to the
So,
second.
yep, right on. Yeah, it's going good. I'm down here in AZ right now, so it's getting hot. It's supposed to be like 98 tomorrow, so not looking forward to that.
I assume you've got a nice air conditioned place to settle.
Yep, in a nice pool. So,
There you go. So now looks like a good time to get started. I don't think I need to introduce Cody because you guys should all know him. Cody's been our a big help with our pitchers and our organization and getting everyone ready to throw and compete. So first and foremost, thank you, Cody. Also, I just want to say if we do drop the feed, if we lose the feed for whatever reason, I will immediately send a new link to all your parents. So if the feed drops, if I lose you guys for any reason, we'll jump back on in a new link. For those of you guys who don't know Cody's playing career, Cody wasn't always a starting pitcher. That's correct, right, Cody?
yeah, I wasn't always a pitcher in general.
Yeah. So
I hit up until my senior year in college.
okay, and then you transitioned to being a pitcher.
Yes, transition to being a pitcher. It's pretty interesting. Two different lifestyles for sure. But it's been great. I love everything about pitching.
Was it helpful for you to be kind of an everyday player hitting, knowing kind of like how a hitter's brain works, and then starting your pitching career?
Yeah, big time. Because hitting, you're always sitting pitches, especially at higher levels. You're sitting fastball on this count. You're sitting slider on this count. Maybe this guy's throwing you a bunch of curveballs, whatever the case may be, and then you take that mindset into pitching. So that's why when I see high school guys that are POs already, I tell them to try and stick with hitting as long as they can. You guys should try and hit as long as you can until you can't hit anymore. And then, throughout that time while you're hitting, develop arm strength because pitching can always be a backfall.
What position did you play in college?
I was a corner infielder, so first and third.
So you probably had a pretty good arm to start with.
I did. Yeah, I had a good arm. And then hitting wise, I would hit a home run or strike out. I hit 0 for 5 with 4 Ks or 2 for 3 with 2 bombs.
There you go. And what did Coach see in you? What did you see in yourself that made you feel like you could pitch? That maybe made it look like you projected well as a pitcher?
Yeah. So for me, first and foremost, I couldn't hit anymore. I was in my head. I didn't play the game. I was putting too much pressure on myself. So that's a big thing, especially at your guys' age, just play the game. Just have a good time. If you strike out, it really doesn't matter. But I had one really good pitch. I have a splitter. And on top of that, I, just kept developing arm strength. And I went into my coach the beginning of my senior year, and I said, look, I'm just not getting the innings I want defensively and hitting, and I think I can be a pretty special pitcher, so I want to give it a shot. And he was all for it. And I pitched. I did good. Got picked up by the Padres, so it was good for me because the transition, hitting and defense takes a lot of time out of the day. It's a lot of work, a lot of practice, versus pitching, you can only throw like once a day. So it just gave me a lot of more free time for stuff like yoga, meditation, stretching, working on the mental side of the game. It opened a whole bunch of doors for me.
That's awesome. I have a lot of questions going down that road. But just to kind of stay on you and your training. So we're at spring training. We've been training for 5 months, 6 months, maybe longer, and then the plug gets pulled. How close were you to being kind of game ready?
Oh, I was right there, man. So when we get into spring training, we throw 2 bullpens and then 2 live BPs, and then we start games. So I had thrown 2 bullpens, and it's like you throw a bullpen one day, the next day's off, the following day's off, and then you throw again.
Mhm.
So it's 2 days off, and then you pitch. So I had thrown 2 bullpens, and it was literally the next day I was supposed to throw live BP. We got rained out, so it got pushed back, got rained out again, and then they banged the whole operation. So it was tough just because I was so close to facing hitters. I hadn't even faced hitters yet.
That's crazy. And where are you now in terms of your training?
Yeah, so we obviously don't know how long this whole quarantine is going to last. So what I did was, instead of starting to face live hitters and keep throwing off the mound, I kind of took a step back because I didn't want to put a bunch of emphasis on throwing, 2 pens a week, 3 pens a week, and for potentially a season that's going to start in like August or July. So I took a step back. I didn't stop throwing. I threw long toss. I'm throwing long toss 2 times a week. And last week I got back up on the mound again. Right now, because I could be throwing 2 bullpens a week, but I chose to just throw 1 a week. And then the other day a week, I'm playing long toss because the facility I'm throwing my bullpen at, they don't have like a place where I can play long toss. So that's, everyone has their own little challenges they have to work through and their own scheduling issues. Maybe you don't have a throwing partner, but you just got to find a way. So that's what I'm trying to do down here, man, is just find a way.
Yeah, I imagine there are a lot of people in a lot of different situations. We talked to Coach Andy McKay with the Mariners last week, and he was talking about how it's hard to train remotely just because you might have, one player who lives in an apartment, in a city, and another person who's got, land, and another person who, you know, doesn't have anyone to train with. So
Oh,
finding a
totally.
way at home in, less than ideal circumstances to stay ready, because I mean, I don't know what it would be like for you. I imagine there'd be a little bit more of a ramp up period, but maybe not. I mean, who knows? If they
Right.
said, we're playing in 2 weeks, how does someone like you get physically prepared, mentally prepared for something like that?
Yeah, that's the thing. You got to be ready, because that's exactly what's going through my mind right now. Is I could get a text message right now that says, "Hey, we're going in 2 weeks." So that was my goal. I need to be 2 weeks out. Okay, 2 weeks out from playing a game. So that's why I'm throwing 1 bullpen a week, work on location, work on pitches, work on throwing off the mound, because that's what pitchers do. We throw off the mounds.
Mhm.
So, and then the other time a week, I'm throwing long toss to build arm strength, because that's a big thing for me. I need more arm strength, right? So just having those two days a week and really planning everything out so that I feel like I'm ready for 2 weeks out.
Hmm.
So yeah, so no matter what the situation, I'm always going to be 2 weeks away from stepping on the mound in a game facing a hitter.
That's awesome. And I guess just to get into kind of, the different training buckets that you have to kind of fill up, on a week to week basis. I hear that you're able to bullpen, which is great. You're able to throw a long toss, which is great. Are you able to do at home workouts? Are you able to find gym space? How are you able to kind of train your body?
Yeah, this is where it gets interesting. This is my big struggle. I don't have weights at home. I don't have a gym I can go to. Everything's shut down here. So I took this time to get extremely flexible,
Mm.
really good at yoga, just being really in tune with my body. But you can't just not lift weights. So there's I've been squatting with like packs of waters. Just have packs of waters, and I'll grab them and I'll squat, do as many as I can. And then, gallon jugs of water. That's a weight right there. You can do curls, you can do tricep extensions with that. You got to get creative. For me personally, I'm doing a lot of conditioning, doing a lot of running, and then a lot of body weight stuff, push-ups, pull-ups, squats. I'm actually doing pull-ups on my garage has like a top piece I can kind of grab my hands on, and I've been doing pull-ups on there, and just finding a way.
That's awesome. Some real Rocky stuff.
Yeah.
So we're trying to stay 2 weeks out because you never know. We talked about the strength training bucket, keeping your arms strong bucket, and then you had mentioned yoga and meditation. How common is that as a tool for mental training with professional, let's just say pitchers?
Okay. Yep. I think a lot of them do it, but a lot of them also don't do it. You can kind of tell when you do meditate, and you're just good with mind stuff. You can tell the pitchers that do it versus the pitchers that don't, because I want to be the pitcher where if you show up at the ballpark, you wouldn't be able to tell if I just gave up 6 home runs or have 6 strikeouts, right? I said that all the time to you guys. That's the big thing for me. So the guys that do find time to get like some nice headspace and meditate and yoga and breathing workouts and exercises, they tend to be calmer on the mound. So obviously you strike someone out and it's a big situation, you can get pumped up, but they're the guys you can tell they bear down. There's a runner on second base with nobody out. You can't let that guy score. So that's I think the difference that meditation makes is really being able to stay that same pitcher that you were before you gave up the double. Not freaking out, not walking a couple guys, staying focused.